That is Ryan Nichols, seen on January 6th. A protester. He served in the Marine Corps, by the way, honorably discharged after 4 years, but right now he's in a lot of trouble. He was arrested in January 18th in Texas. He's been in the DC jail now for a long time, and he actually joins us from the phone right now. Ryan Nichols, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, Mr. Kelly, I can hear you. Thank you for having me on.
You bet. First off, I got to ask you about the charge against you. You're charged, one of them, assault with a dangerous weapon on a police officer. They're saying it was pepper spray. What do you want to say about that?
That's a question I'd probably not want to answer right now.
All right, I understand that. That's something that you and your lawyer have determined. So look, let's talk about what's happening right now. Do me a favor. Tell us where you are right now. Set the scene. You're on phone, in jail. Where? How does it work? What's going on where you are right now?
Right now, I am in what I'd like to refer to as DC Gitmo, but we're in the DC DOC Correctional Facility, and I can only describe it as psychologically damaging, torturous, and inhumane here. Solitary confinement for anywhere between 18 to 26 hours per day. It used to be upwards of 23 to 30 hours per day before they finally gave us a little bit more time out of our cells. No haircuts, no shaves. There's mistreatment by the officers and other inmates in general population. Racial slurs used against us, assaults against us by both officers and inmates. No family visitations. My wife and kids, they're suffering right now. My youngest tells me that he doesn't even remember what I look like and asks him if I'm ever coming home. There's mold in our cells, in the ventilation systems. And the jail has covered this up. They covered this up before the U.S. Marshals came in, and they covered this up, even before Marjorie Taylor Greene and Louis Gohmert came in. So there's a lot to be said about that, and we're being targeted and punished for who we are and what we believe in.
Did anything change? Did your conditions improve ever so much after the congressional visit, I guess it was Friday night? Did anything change Thursday night?
I would say nothing has really changed other than the fact that they're now moving people out of here to different facilities now. We saw that they moved 400-plus inmates on the CTF side of the jail out after the marshals came, and they said nothing was wrong over here. After the congressman came, and we're glad that they did it. It highly, boosted morale inside of here. But now we're seeing that they're moving people out. They actually came in and found mold after we showed Mrs. Greene and Mr. Gohmert our cells and showed their workers what things look like in our cells. We showed them the ventilation systems, the water that we were drinking, the pipes that we were drinking out of. We swabbed them and showed them the conditions, and after that, they came and finally did a small inspection and did find mold inside of cells, and are now double bunking people up.
All right, a couple of things. Number one, you say you've not been able to see your family. Your family is not allowed to visit you. How does that work? I mean, I thought that kind of came, that was automatic. That was a right. Why are they denying you access, or your family access to you during visiting hours?
They're saying that we have to be COVID vaccinated if we want to receive family visitations. They don't allow us to have video visitations, even though we do have tablets that would allow video visitations on the tablets. They just don't put the program on there for us to use that. So we don't get family visitations. We don't get, religious services. Every single bit of this, haircut, shave, proper hygiene, it comes with the mandate of you have to have a COVID vaccine if you want to be able to receive any of these.
Let me ask you this, and I think I know the answer, but you've been there for a while. You know how the other prisoners are being treated. You said this earlier, but I want to make sure. Other people who are not related to January 6th, they're living there as well. But your situation is worse, or is it just bad all around at that jail?
It's just bad all around at this jail. We were actually outside doing outside rec earlier this last week, and one of the inmates from general population banged on the window and asked two of the guys to come over there and speak with him. And he said, y'all are the January 6th guys, is that correct? And we said, yes, we are. He said, I heard that you helped 400 people get free on the other side of this show because of what you did. And we said, yeah, we've been working hard. We want to help people like you. And he said, well, can you help me get free? Because it's bad over here, too. So this is not just us dealing with this. This is jail-wide on both CDF and CTF.
All right. Let me ask you this. By the way, I want to point out that you are known to a good chunk of America. A few years ago, you saved a bunch of dogs in Texas after a hurricane. The video went viral. Oh, my goodness. I remember this. You're awesome. And everybody saw this. You got the dogs out of there. They were going to die. And you went viral. You were on the ABC Evening News. You went on the Ellen Show. And it was amazing. Oh, man. This is great stuff. Ryan, wow, you're in such a different world right now. And
I am.
Let me ask you this, and I know it may sound a bit ridiculous, but is there one good thing that's happened since you've been incarcerated? One thing that you're grateful for that would not have happened had you not been going through this?
I'm grateful for the people that I've met in here. I've met a lot of people. I thought jail was going to be, a lot different situation than it was. But what I've found is that people can come together for a common goal. And it teaches us that we can still love our country, even though that we feel our country, may not feel the same way about us, or especially our government. When I refer to the country, I'm referring to the government in this standpoint. We feel hatred from our government. And we feel a lot of love from the people, but we feel a lot of hatred from the government. So I've learned to rely more on people and rely more on self, rely more on family inside of here, and to come together with one common goal. And that's what we've done, is to get ourselves out of this situation and move forward with life.
Now, we've had some success, but a lot of failure in actually talking to people like you on the inside. We've done it, not often. Look, you're speaking out boldly. You're very critical of the facility, and I have no quarrel with that. I'm just wondering, are you incurring any risk? Are they giving you a hard time? You're on the phone right there. They're probably listening to both of us. Does this cause you problems, speaking out like this publicly?
Absolutely, it causes us problems. I myself have been subject to, physical aggression from officers. Not all the officers here are bad. We have some great officers that are here, but there are a lot that are not good. I've actually been told, because of the stuff that myself and Joseph McBride, my attorney, have put into court, that I needed to watch my back here. Kind of like Christopher Worrell, when he got warned in the middle of the night that he wasn't safe. I, too, this last week, when we put our motion in talking about what actually happened on the West Terrace on January 6th, I was told that I needed to watch my back because I could possibly be stabbed inside of here. So, yeah, there comes a level of risk when you're doing this, but I believe that good wins over evil, and you can't sit back and allow these things to happen. You have to speak up and you have to talk, even for those that can't talk.
What's next in your case? When do you due back in court? What's going to happen next?
We're due back in court on December 20th. Right now, we have put a motion in that just talks about, the level of police brutality that took place on January 6th. We went to go protest. And, we showed up in good faith on January 6th to protest the election results, but never would have imagined we'd encounter the horrors we did on the West Terrace and in the tunnel that day. We feel targeted and hated by our government and are being punished in this jail as pretrial detainees. Many of us here have been honorably discharged with no criminal history. I'm personally a United States Marine, search and rescue specialist, and when I saw women being beaten and in distress, my rescue instincts kicked in, and I knew I had no choice but to help rescue them. As soon as I saw Officer Fanone in distress, I pointed at him and took action to help rescue him also. So my participation in Officer Fanone's event, no doubt, helped save his life that day, and this is all proven by video. Yet I still sit in solitary confinement along with the other January 6ers awaiting my day in court. I love my country. I served my country honorably for 4 years in the United States Marine Corps, and I still look for ways to serve with my nonprofit Rescue the Universe. I understand and accept that not everyone agrees with my stance and my beliefs, and that's okay. I love my country and our citizens regardless. Because of people like you, Greg Kelly, along with Newsmax, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Louis Gohmert, and Joseph McBride, we feel the love that many, many Americans give us in return. And we still can't help but to feel the hatred from our government, though, towards us. And I hope that changes one day.
What can we do? What can people do? What would you like us to do? What else can we do? And especially the people watching, is there anything?
The best way to help us, the court costs are racking up. Our families are dealing with single-family incomes right now with not having dad or father there to be able to help things out. I know that, I had to switch attorneys at the very beginning, and that cost me $30,000 before I realized that I didn't have the correct attorney. Many people in here are not getting correct representation, and they don't have somebody that's willing to fight for them like Mr. McBride is willing to fight for me. So the best way to help us is to donate to our legal funds, and they can do that at McBrideLawNYC.com. Go to the January 6th tab. You'll find my name and the other January 6th defendants that he's defending, and you can help support us there.
All right. Yeah. GiveSendGo.com/Gulf26 November Foxtrot, G26 November Foxtrot. Mr. Nichols, Ryan, Marine, stay safe. We thank you very much, and hang in there, okay?
Thank you, Mr. Kelly, for having me on.
You bet, you bet. And Mr. McBride, your attorney, is on the phone, monitoring the conversation. I understand you'd have to jump in if it was appropriate. Can I just ask you real quick, Mr. McBride, if you can hear me, at that hearing in December, what are you anticipating? Can you tell me?
Sure. Greg, it's always good to be on, and thank you so much for taking the time out to speak to Ryan today. We are anticipating a vigorous debate. The government will no doubt continue to slander Mr. Nichols and attack his record and even go as far as to say that he betrayed his oath in his country. But his life that he has led, his honorable discharge, his work as a humanitarian search and rescue work, and the evidence of overwhelming police brutality and misconduct that day will be shown to the court in that hearing. And under the meaning of the Bail Reform Act, we will argue that he is not dangerous or a flight risk, and that he is certainly a good candidate for pretrial services. And because of that, we hope that just days before Christmas, on the 20th of December, that Judge Hogan will grant pretrial release in this case and send Ryan Nichols back to his wife, Bonnie, his son, Ryan Jr., and his son, Blake, just before Christmas 2021. That's what we're gunning for, Greg.
Mr. McBride, thank you. You know, Joe Biden, he brags about knowing the Pope. I notice sometimes he seems to wear his faith on his sleeve. Maybe, just maybe, he could do something. I don't think he will, but maybe. I know he could. He's got that authority, but anyway, I appreciate it, Mr. McBride. I know you're handling, you got a lot on your plate. Good luck and stay in touch, okay?
Thank you so much, Greg. God bless you.
You bet, sir. You bet.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, where real news for real people.